You are now watching Elizziebooks.
Listen, I know I haven't done a book review for a while, and a part of that was because every video I did I was like, why am I rushing through this? Why? And that's what I figured out was like, I kept doing that where I was like, let's just put out some videos, let's just keep putting out videos, and then after, you know, when you edit those kinds of videos, you notice that you don't enjoy editing those videos because you weren't having fun in those videos. So we're gonna have some fun and we're going to talk about The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Now this is basically like Supernatural meets the book form. Like Supernatural, the TV show with the two guys that are pretty. I've only seen the first like 2 seasons of it, so forgive me if I'm out of date on that kind of stuff, but basically the creepy, crawly kind of stuff. Not really crawly. There aren't any like mystery magical creatures. But there is some like, again, supernatural aspects like paranormal kind of stuff, and there's some psychic stuff going on, especially with our main character Blue. She is from a family of psychics and she lives with a house full of, guess what? Psychics. And then we've got this group called the Raven Boys, who are basically, they're named that because they go to this private school and the emblem is a raven, but you know, they're these guys, they go to a private school, most of them are rich, one of them is on a scholarship, but they're all kind of helping well, he's kind of like the leader of the pack, and his name is Gansey, and he wants to find King Glendower, who is the immortal king, and he's been sleeping for hundreds, thousands of years, something like that. Going back to Blue, Blue was brought up being told that her true love will die. Not necessarily sure if it entails her kissing her true love or you know what, but the whole story, she's like, if I kiss him, he will die. And so there you have that, alongside with the fact, well, it's not like really alongside that, but it's kind of like she ends up hanging out with the Raven Boys, which she is always telling herself, I will never hang out with those guys. But when she, when one of them leaves their notebook at the restaurant she works at, she reads it, she takes it home, reads it, and is like, I think I can help these guys because of her magical power, which is, it's not psychic, but it helps those psychic powers become stronger. And so she's like, hey, if these ley lines are a true thing, which I think she believes they're true. She believes anything that has to do with like supernatural kind of stuff, she will at least try to take a gander at it. So she helps these guys on their quest to find this king, and a lot of crazy stuff happens along the way. Of course, there's all sorts of twists and turns, which is great. Maggie Stiefvater is really good at doing that kind of stuff, like getting you going and having you on the edge of your seat and being like, who is going to live and who is going to die, that kind of thing. And so in this book, that happens. As far as characters go, I loved the characters, just great. The psychics, great. You know, her mother is a very like free-spirited person, I guess, and so she's like, I'm not gonna discipline my child, she's just kind of gonna do her own thing. And Blue does a great job of raising herself in that matter. Like she always has, you know, surrounded by people, and because of that prophecy of, you know, your first true love is going to die, she's kind of kept herself under a rock. And plus she's a weird kid and she doesn't really have friends at school, so you got that going on. And with the guys, they're great. Also, great cars. That's another thing this has in common with Supernatural, the TV show. Great cars. There is a burnt orange Camaro, I believe, and a couple other cars that are mentioned that are great cars. Something I like about Maggie Stiefvater's writing is that she's not gonna leave a bunch of loose ends. With the series, you're gonna have those like certain kind of cliffhangers, but with this book, any sort of things that are asked at the beginning, they pretty much get answered for the most part. Like not everything, because we still are trying to figure out about Glendower and where he is, and you know, probably learn a little bit more about the ley lines and things like that. But overall, like, there really aren't very many like, whoa, I need that answered now, why is that not answered? Anything that's like scratching at me and it's just like aggravating or whatever. No. This is one of those books that I've been waiting for a while, and so of course I was super excited to be able to read it, and sad that it's taken me so long to review this. But yeah, I really like this book. I believe it's 1 out of 4 in the series, and the series is called The Raven Cycle, and it's going to be a lot of great fun. I feel like this is, you know, compared to Scorpio races, it's a lot lighter than that, but it's still like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, it's somewhere in between that and Mercy Falls series, with the wolves and stuff like that. The Shiver, you know, that kind of stuff. But I feel like this is a good, like, if you didn't quite like, you know, that stuff, and you may have found Scorpio races to be a bit heavy, this is definitely somewhere in between, where it's like, it's very accessible, but a very smart story, and just so well written. And not to say that Mercy Falls isn't well written, it's just like, it's very, very light reading. But this is like, oh my goodness. If I go on any further, I'm just going to blabber, and I'm going to not make any sense whatsoever. So I basically beg of you to go to your local bookstore, or, you know, Amazon. Amazon's nice. And go buy this book. It's great. I loved it a lot. Very much. Yes, I am ready for the next book. Like right now, please. So have a great day and keep reading.